welcome to another episode of the Harold Knows Nothing podcast.
Nothing.
I'm here with my, damn, this shit's going crazy. I'm here with Scott Black in the building. Shutting it down with the calm down. And I'm your gracious host, Harold, who apparently knows not too much about nothing. All right? How are you guys doing out there? Look into the camera. How are you guys doing out there? As you noticed, today is our first official time. We're starting on time, absolutely on time. It is now 9:31, but intros have been done. So we're gonna call this podcast episode 1. After today in the morning, you will see us scheduled for our program to let you know that we're going on live. We're gonna ask you to spread the word and please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you wanna hear more about what the freak we got to say over here, we try to keep it somewhat kid friendly, not too much. Um, this program is about growth, and exploration of oneself, as well as the popular topics of today and how we feel about it and the age group that we are. I personally am 54 years old, so my opinion might be a little bit different than a 20-year-old. And that's what you're here for. You're here to hear the bullshit. I mean, you're here to hear me, okay, my constituents here. Um, we normally have Regina here when she's available, another one of our contributors to the pod. Spoke to them early, so I anticipate they might be here today. Uh, but, that'll be a little bit later. We got some subjects to go over. But first off, how are you doing today, Scott?
I am doing fantastic. You know, like I said, life is wonderful. I'm grounded, surrounded by people who I care about and who care about me. Hey, I'm
Hmm.
inspired and just happy to be here.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. A lot of exciting stuff going on. I did a card event a couple of days back. Was it yesterday? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
either way. Um, Anywho, it was great. Good turnout, good sales. Everything felt good. It felt good to be back in the swing of things. Um, Brings me up to one of my subjects that I had here. Now you're gonna see me pulling out stuff because now I have my other phone to go over some of these subjects that I felt was important to me. And yesterday brought me to a subject. And which one was it here? Let's look down here because we got a lot of stuff going on here. This one is how to turn disappointment into triumph, into victory, into a win. Because most disappointments are silent wins that you don't know about. You know, being in the business that I'm in right now, just with the food truck, catering, and trying to be a restaurateur, trying to open up that storefront, and you're going to get a lot of disappointments. But you got to look at them like, is this a real disappointment, or is this steering me? Is this the universe steering me in the proper direction to where I need to go to? Is it if I look at it the right way, everything that happens to me is happening for me. You know what I mean? So that being the case, you want to look at your setbacks, not as the thing for a major comeback. That's cool. It's kind of corny to me, but you want to look at your setbacks as not really setbacks. It's like realignment or replacing you into your right position. Maybe where you were going wasn't where you're supposed to go. Don't fight to be where you don't need to be at. That's not giving up. That is recognizing where your value is, where life and the universe steers you to is most likely where your value is. And I'm not talking about, it steered me down Bum Alley Road or Skid Row or something like that. I'm talking about when life steers you in a certain way, it's going to steer you to a certain woman. It's going to steer you towards a certain lifestyle. It's going to steer you towards a certain thing. Now, whether your eyes are open enough for you to see it and receive it and get there, that's a whole different ball of wax. This is a whole different ball of wax. So you have to look, one should look at life like this. If I get nudged this way, maybe it's something that says, hey, uh, tighten up, or, get stronger, get wiser, get smarter. It might be like, all right, get your patience up. You know, you got to pay your dues in this world, but you don't have to pay them every fucking day. You're supposed to build up a stash where you can get mailbox money of good information and good positioning, and that's by surrounding yourself with the right people, with people that really have your best interests at heart, with people that really want you to grow. They see your wins as their wins also. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. If they're not seeing your wins like your wins, if they're jealous of your wins, if they tense up when you give good news, get the fuck away from them. That's my solid advice to you. Get the fuck away from them. They have to see your wins like they see it for their wins. And if they don't, it's nothing wrong with that. They're just not for you when you're ascending to a higher level in life. When your vibrations are one place and somebody's vibrations in another place, it's going to be like bad music. It's not going to make you move. It's not going to give you that enjoyment. It's not going to make you want to move your feet, get shit cooking. So, bad people around you is like a bad beat. You don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to say about that. But definitely was a good time. But what do you think, Scott? Was it a good time the other day? A little work, but it was hot.
Oh yeah,
But was it a good time?
it was it was fantastic. And to
Sorry,
what
I
you
gotta light this
said,
candle.
every. I'm sorry.
I had to light this candle. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot to light the candle. I got it. We're here.
Oh,
We're
no
here.
worries. We got to keep the feng shui up.
Yeah, for real.
But
But continue, please.
you know, but it's like it's like a puzzle. It's like you're a puzzle piece, and the universe is just moving you into place. And sometimes you got to get turned, just in the right position so you can fit. Yesterday was a
Yes.
great, a great day, and a great example of that because we worked hard. It was an enjoyable day. It was a good, hard, enjoyable day. It was beautiful, and everything that all the things that we have been learning along the way, we applied, and you got instant success. He showed you, yes, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we are being successful. And then also playing hard. Love the water gun fights. That was just being a big kid. Loved it. That was absolutely
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. Those are the memories that we built. I just posted up. I don't know if you've seen it, but I wanted to make sure that you know that at Shannon 55 made it. Hey, I made it, y'all. Absolutely. Shout out to
Yo, what's up, at Shannon
Shannon.
55?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely clap it up for Shannon 55. We gotta clap it up for Shannon. Where the hell's my clapping at? Everything's usually. I think they switched it up. Maybe I didn't pay the bill. Nope, nope. Here it goes. It was right on top of Sharon. But definitely wanted Shannon 55 to know that we appreciate it. Like, share, man. Post up, show our stuff to your friends, and let them be part of the group and the camaraderie and the family here at Harold Knows Nothing podcast. Okay, let's do it again. Shout out to Shannon at Shannon 55. That's the homegirl. She's been holding it down. Um, let's get to some more important stuff right here. Let me look down here. Now, I got a couple of things to go through. Scott, did you see the Kevin Hart roast?
I saw I saw some of it.
All right, so we're gonna try to see this
Yeah.
roast so that we can really speak on it. I seen the roast. I want to see it one more time. Probably tomorrow earlier. Sit my hopefully it's a good. A bunch of laughs with me. There was some contentious points at the show. with some of the jokes. But remember, it's a roast. Everybody's going to push the button. Everybody's going to take it there. Um, it's really just playing the dozens or snapping on each other. You know what I mean? Just talking the most horrible shit. Think about battle rap, but for comedians. That's what battle rap is. Battle rap to me is somebody that can rap and rhyme, but they're basically a comedian because they're saying everything's for shock value. You know what I mean? So that's what that roast is about. That's what all roasts are about. And some roasts were a little bit milder than others. Roasts have definitely taken a dark turn at times with what they're saying and the material. They're all writers for the show. Um, I looked into it. I think there was about three to four black writers, and out of 15, the rest were white. So some of these jokes might have not got screened properly. I can't even say that. I mean, everybody's going to read the material before they see it on teleprompter. So everybody, what they signed up for and what they said is what they said. There was a part about the George Floyd thing with "Can't Breathe." That wasn't a good joke. Um, and the Charlie Kirk um, punchline wasn't a good joke to me. Um, at the same time, I do like a lot of dark humor. I just know at the current state of the country, some of these jokes, because of the public nature of it, it is entertainment that we have to still be careful what we're saying out there. It's not about censorship at this point. It's about being kind and courteous to and sympathetic and empathetic to other people's plight and what they're going through. The thing with the Khaled joke, though poignant, still was one of those things where there's people suffering. I don't think that at the end the hypocrisy and the 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 arrogance of us as Americans is that we can talk this shit about people abroad and then be shocked when they're mad at us and look at us like you piece of shit. I'm getting rained on with bombs and you guys are joking about it. So, there's a lot of stuff out there. But again, it's a roast. If you don't like what's being said, don't watch it. As simple as that. Don't watch it if you don't like what's said. I'm going to watch it because I want to know if I'm going to be offended. And that's a marketing pitch, by the way, people. People are going to, the more I hear about, oh my God, they said this, the more I'm going to be like, let me see it to see if it really was that bad. Or if I'm on the other side, if it's let me see it so I can have some fuel for my fire. So, and with all the tender people out here, you can't really have a conversation like with George Jefferson or Archie Bunker. It's only going to be volatile and we need to kill each other and then we need to oppress each other in order for it to be right. I have friends that I respect, but their opinion is often I want to be a monarch myself so that you can do it right, so that so they know what's best for you. To my libertarian friends that think like that, shame on you, and you need to calm it down. But it is what it is. Let me see. We got something here from Shannon 55. Let's put it up on the screen. Check out Kevin Ring Doorbell Show. It's light and hilarious. See, and that's another thing. What about Kevin makes stuff? I like Kevin Hart movies. I wasn't a big fan of a lot of his stand up. It's okay, but I'm more of a David Chappelle, Garland type person. Um, Even Chris Rock, I like him too. Is it a lot of matter of fact comedy in there? And his brother, what's his brother's name? Something Rock, of course, because his last name is Rock. Tony Rock, also Tony Rock. I like Tony Rock's material also, but that's neither here nor there. Um, Kevin Hart does make movies that I like. I'm not a real big fan of the stand up too much, but the movies I found life. He's made some really good movies that were serious movies also. That his range is really out there. So shout out to Kevin Hart. Shout out to Cat Williams. For just coming out there giving a good show, being a good sport, giving some and taking some from Kevin, and in a lighthearted, good way. And I truly believe and hope that they squash the beef. I think they can do a lot of good work together. What do you think, Scott? You think they can do some good work together? Scott, Kevin
Absolutely.
Hart and Cat Williams. We went to see Cat Williams. It was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I think that because and I kind of feel the same way as far as enjoying Kevin Hart's movies more than his stand up. Um, I could definitely see Kevin Hart and Cat Williams in a movie.
Mm, but this is true. Well, let me see if I can get some little movie magic here before I get. Um, oh, you got the bottles up there too. This is definitely brought to you by Mob Sauce. Mob Sauce is the premium jerk sauce made right in Port Charlotte, Florida. It's available everywhere. Websites there. Link will be in the bio. Remember, it must be the sauce. It's Mob Sauce. Okay, we got a little bit of the Kevin Hart stuff done. No, I would like that Mob Sauce bottle, if you don't mind. It's so hard to get help these days. This is crazy. This is actually their product. I can't believe this shit. Uh, no, it's a great product where I'll be showing it. I'm sorry that we don't have it on the table. Actually, again, we're going to digress a little bit. Um, we did sell some bottles. We at the place we sold the bottles, so you know it's definitely sought after. You know what I mean? So MOBs, it must be the sauce.
Like
Let's
fine
get
wine.
it like fine wine. I'm gonna move along a little bit here, a little quicker, because we're gonna probably come back to the Kevin Hart after we watch it tomorrow, hopefully. Um, we're gonna get back on this Make the Stallion. I've already made a few things to make sound. Thank you. Look at it, movie magic right here. We got the sauce, Mob Sauce, right here. All natural ingredients, pH balance, ready for you. Will last you a lifetime. Each batch is dated and different. That means when you get the mild, it's still gonna be mild, but the peppers range a little bit. So the fruitiness and the peppery flavor, the pepperness is that it? Pepperdine, the pepperness of this is what's up. Hold up, music movie magic. Just give me 1 second, Jesus. All right, so the pepperness of this is pepperied out. All right, you want to get this mob sauce as soon as possible. I put it on everything, including cereal. All right, I'm lying. I'm
The
not putting it on
Scotch
cereal.
bonnet.
That's ridiculous. All right, let me put this here. Oh yeah, I can see it right there. Let me get this one right here. Thank you so much, movie magic. All right, thank you.
Les
Thank
Poufs.
you. Damn, they looking at me like a threatening manner. This is crazy. All right, let me put this down right here. Ah, so see, we got it all up there. Now we can get a paycheck from that. Um, at Shannon55, you need to order one of these online. The link will be in the bio. All right, let's get to another subject that I had written down here for the crew. Megan Thee Stallion won it allegedly. Won it 700,000 to be Clay Thompson's girlfriend. Um, that was the stipend she wanted to take care of her, and that was the end of that. You already make the stallion. Assumingly, you're making money, and I know you're making good money. Um, you're still targeting like a ratchet guy, okay? Because this is just high level prostitution. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? I've had some great friends out there. I've had some fun times. You know what I mean? But I ain't never met a piece of pussy that's gonna be $700,000. That they're gonna tell me this. Yeah, it may cost me that in the end. That's all cool. Let me figure it out. Let me be like, oh, I love them so much. I just want to make sure they're happy. I'm cool with that. That's reasonable. But you tell me that you want 700,000 from me to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever, man, get the fuck out of here. That's
Man,
ridiculous.
bitch out of her. She insane. That's insane.
I done had some fine broads. I done had not that good and some that's fine. And honestly, some of the ones that didn't look that great had some of the best. a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? The head game was off the chain. You know what I mean? Down there was, like the ocean. You know what I mean? Had the grip like, was, jerking you off down there or something. And I still wouldn't say $700,000. Okay.
Man, please.
700.
$700,000 for what?
Let me tell you something.
For what?
I can't give you 700. And I could be a billionaire
Shit.
and I would not feel comfortable with it. That's those relationship numbers are not a number. Relationship is like, whatever you need, I got you. As my girl would say, I'm covered down, or you're gonna cover down, something like that. But to come all the way out and be like,
Exactly.
hey, I want 700. Who are you? Who are you? You're a thought. You twerk on stage for a living. Ain't nothing I got from you private. Ain't nothing I got from you between me and you. Everything I got is between me, you, and everybody else. He had a problem with the constant social media applications that she would use, and it's always social media time. And even me being in this space, I know there's a space where I'm not in this space. You're gonna catch my workout in the morning. You're gonna catch my podcast where I'm gonna try to tell you a couple of things. And if I have something interesting during the day, I'll give you some of it. For now. But 700,000, and you got a camera in my face all day. Like, nah, I'm not with it. You could tell he's somewhat private, not private, but he likes to be on his boat and chill. So he's not an out there type person. You know what I mean? And the numbers that you're asking for is like what these. I can only imagine what would happen if he had knocked you up. He knew to run, Megan. He knew to run because 700,000. He has 700,000 reasons to run from your ass. This is the precedent that women are setting right now. When you're setting that kind of precedent, you you're you're saying, "Hey, can you afford to be with me?" And they're
Yeah,
gonna say,
and put a
"Fuck you."
price tag on it.
Yeah, it's a price tag. 700,000. You think Megan Thee Stallion is? If you had $1 billion, would you give her 700,000 to smash?
Man, fuck no. I wouldn't give her fucking 700.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. I don't see your 700,000, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe I'm
No,
old.
I'm
Maybe
like,
I'm.
what?
I just don't see it.
If you really want to get serious about it. What value are you bringing to my life for $700,000? Seven hundred
Well,
thousand dollars. You better be bringing me a billion. You know what I'm saying?
I like to say this: the most value a person can bring to you is your peace. And with the social media and what she does in the circus that's around her, because of her, being in
Mm-mm.
entertainment, there was no peace coming. There was no peace coming. And then,
Nope.
newsflash, he already got the goods from you. So he also told you in a very public way that the coochie ain't worth $700,000. That's what
No.
was told to you. All right. Now, as far as you saying that he didn't want to be monogamous and this, that, the third. Let's be honest. At 700,000, I don't need to be monogamous. I'm giving you 700,000 to shut the hell up, to do whatever I say. That's what 700,000 looks like. Oh, you don't want to do it? Well, this is not for me. That's what 700,000 looks like. Okay. So, as to Meg Stallions or whatever that she calls her group, be nice for them to come after us, give us a little bit more shine here. But also, it'd be nice to tell you guys, you're stupid as fuck. Okay. And that's what we have today for you, for Meg the Stallion. Now, I got a couple of things to move on. I've been running through stuff kind of quickly though here. You slow it down just a little bit. Nah, fuck it. Um, we got a United States attorney for the District of Columbia. That's Washington D.C. for you guys that failed geography. Um, her name is Janine Pirro. Janine Pirro. And what she's proposing, and this is a question I have for everybody out there. I'm gonna make sure, man, this AI better get this right. All right. United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, is proposing. Hey, shout out to Regina. Regina's in the building. I think there's a dog right there. I don't know how that's going down.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get
Yes,
over
it's me.
you.
Hello.
Is you? Is it you, Regina? Well, come on down. Come on down, Regina. How you been? How you doing? Welcome to the Harold Mills podcast. Glad to see you back in the building. Let me turn this off. That was
Good
cool.
evening, everyone. Good evening, Harold. Good evening, Scott. And yes, that's a picture of me and my
Good evening.
dog Legend from, I want to say this is the late 90s, early aughts. So it's probably in my early 30s.
All right. Well, I only see a piece of your lip and half of the dog. So
Sorry.
it's definitely giving off, halvesies type picture. But it's dope as hell. And I can see the dog was happy in doggy heaven.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Scott met him.
All right. So we was
Yep.
on the subject. I'm gonna I'm
Mhm.
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna I gotta keep it going because the AI is gonna kind of chop this up for me. I don't want to lose the place. So I'm gonna say it one more time. United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, that is Washington D.C. for those who failed geography. Um, Her name is Janine Pirro. All right, from the District of Columbia. She is proposing that parents do up to a 6 months sentence for their children that get into trouble. What say you people? So if your son goes out there and they get caught, they robbing, how do you do the smash and grabs in the malls, or if they get in trouble with the shootings or any of that stuff, or breaking the law, you as their parent, their registered parent on file with the school, with everything else, you will be going to court with them, if they don't beat that case, you are doing 6 months along with them. What say you about this?
So you're saying that like what are the parameters? Is it did the parent are they trying to prove if the parent knew about the child's criminal
If the
criminology,
if
whatever that
if
you
the
want to
if
call it,
if the if the parent
or
knew about the breaking, if the parent knew about the breaking of the law, all right. If the parent didn't
Mhm.
supervise the kid properly, and it was a supervision thing, like maybe he was out at 10 o'clock at night doing all kinds of horrendous shit, you know what I mean? And your rules, your staying in the house, whatever the case is, they didn't adhere to it, and they went out and broke the law. You're gonna get charged. So if your kid breaks the law, you're gonna get charged too for failure to
well,
raise your
I mean
kids properly,
at
I guess.
that prepared, yeah, I mean at the end of the day, the the uh, the what you call it the proof is on the law. So you know at the end of the day, do I think that yeah, you know what? Yeah, because at the end of the day, if the prosecution can prove that you knew about it or you didn't do enough to prevent your child from doing that horrendous act, then that's what it is.
So, and again, they have something similar to this in Texas, right? So, my son Jordan was going to school
Mhm.
down there. He didn't want to go to school. And if your kid doesn't go to school, they can jail your parent for it. They can jail you as a parent for it. Welcome back,
Mm.
Regina. I don't know what happened. Also, let me segue back real quick. On the Megan Thee Stallion at Shannon55 had a comment to make when we said the 700,000, and her comment was, no, let me get over to the right one. She said, is her pee made out of gold?" And I
Shit,
said,
wouldn't care
"Damn."
if it was.
She said, "Is it made out of gold?" I said, "Damn, no, it ain't." And she said basically she calls it bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's what Ask Shannon 55 had to say about that. Always like her contributor. Hey Regina, how you doing? Can you hear us?
I can.
All right. So did you hear what did you hear? What did you miss?
I did hear about, uh, and you'll forgive me, I am woefully tired. I did hear about, in essence, the parent putting in time for the crimes that the child did.
Mm-hmm. Your kid get in trouble for robbing the store, for stealing. Your kid get in trouble for, murdering somebody. Your kid get in trouble for whatever, breaking the law. They're saying that they want to give your kid they want to give you 6 months, up to
Six
six
months of
months.
what? Jail
Time.
time? What type of
Yes, jail
facility? Hmm.
time. They want the parents to have a stake in the kids' behavior. They want the parents to carry some responsibility for the kids' behavior.
Okay, they should, but I don't know if jail time is necessarily the ideal solution. And yes, the kid definitely has to do the time in some kind of way. That's the particular that has to be figured out.
And in some type of way. Oh, it's a lengthy conversation. It's a length when it comes to juvenile behavior, parenting, the state of the world today. If you're gonna have a real hand in your kid upbringing, are you gonna really put down the rules and make sure they know what to do and what not to do? You know what I mean? Like it's a bit. It's a lot. It's a lot. And there's another subject that's coming up in a second, off of my little tyrannical list there, with Julio Fulio in his case. I know you're not familiar with him, Regina. He's a rapper. I know it's
Mm.
not your lane. It's definitely newer and it's stupid as hell and it's whatever. But it gives the note about four kids, four young adults, four men, 20 years of age, maybe a little younger, a little older. One came across my radar. They're all being sentenced. They were found guilty for the murder of Julio Fulio. What a name, right? Um,
Mm.
and the important thing is the argument that they were having on sentencing was that he was better off being a slave for the state of Florida than being put to death. This is what I'm talking about. This is some crazy shit. And I have some wicked thoughts on it, but I really want to hear you guys' thoughts. Let me see what at Shannon said real quick first. I get the truancy issue, but I call bullshit on all that other. Yeah, but I mean, as a parent, do you do
I,
you do you give up
I
or
don't
do
know.
you like what's the deal?
Nah, man, you don't give up. You just be more vigilant. But at the end of the day, shoot, if you got more skin in the game, like if your kid get time, guess what? You gonna get time too. You know, like I said, it's like if they can prove that you didn't do enough to prevent them from doing the crimes, or that you knew about it, hey, you
Mm,
got to pay the piper.
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's his opinion.
You
That's
know,
what he should.
if that's what it is, get a better lawyer.
Yes, but damn, if you're in these situations, you're broke as hell. You don't got money for no lawyer like that. I mean, most of these kids are public defender kids, right? most of these parents are going to be public
Then then I
defenders.
guess then I guess they better be on top of their kids' behavior then.
I really want to know from our audience, when I put this out there. Do you? I mean, because a lot of people stand by their kids after their kids do a lot of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they're going to be standing behind their kids as much, when they're going to get time because of their behavior. I think they're going to be more involved. But is this a double edged sword? Is this something that's more tricky? You know what I mean? Is this something that ultimately, uh, I'm just watching how the world is going with this. But let's get back to Julio Fulio. All right. So he was a rapper. He was murdered. These young men, who murdered him, um, the state of Florida is saying, hey, each individual, their argument from their attorneys is don't kill them, because the argument is to save their life, right? Don't kill them. They're better off. They're young. Their literal argument was, we have a shrinking prison population and elders, and we need more young people to work in the prison system. This is the direct argument from his attorney. So he these kids murdered
It is
somebody.
if
It's a weird argument, man.
it's I mean you when you talk you're talking about a life for a life. So either your life is going to be taken immediately, or your life is just, or you're going to spend the rest of your life working for the state or the feds. That's what it is, you know. But if the only two choices are either life in prison or the death penalty, I'm sure most people would prefer to take, life over death.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Regina?
Because think about who.
No, Scott, go ahead and finish your statement.
No, I was just saying that the person that died, they're not going to get to enjoy the length or the fruits of their life. So I mean, one way or the other, you got to pay. So either you pay with it now or pay with it later.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, what do you think, Regina?
No,
I
I'm
mean, it's
just thinking.
only biblical.
I'm thinking about the fact that unfortunately, the penal system is a business in this country, and it's woeful that they are thinking about their bottom line. It's like, oh, uh, we're losing numbers of people that are in jail, so we have to do something about that. I that well, that rubs me very wrong, very wrong,
Yes,
very
that's what I'm
wrong.
saying. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. And this is even for a person that's or persons that are murderers. It's still
Hmm.
why does it rub me the wrong way when they've done already something wrong at Shannon 55 double edged sword. Damn right it is. Um Again, the death penalty, because of the misuse of it historically, is frowned upon by a lot of sections. All right. However, for the people that on the other end of losing a loved one, um, they they're of the mind an eye for an eye, right?
Hmm.
However, now
Yep.
you got these young men that have committed to ultimate crime, right? And committing this murder, and now they're looking at as pawns, to shore up the labor of the prison industrial complex of Florida. And I'm saying to you, do you see a direct correlation between the music, the attitude of the youth? Look at the age of them. Look at the music. Look at the rapper that they killed, Julio Fulio. The name says it all.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, are they laying the foundation and the pipeline to the jail with the music, with the activity of our youth? Are they doing that, and then they're reaping the rewards at the same time with the prison so you get one African American or whatever, a poor disenfranchised person out of here, and then you get the other one to be in jail to work for you. So you're winning on both sides if you're of the mind of some kind of racial type of steering in your thinking and in your authority. So when the argument became, hey, I'm just trying to say, don't kill him because at least he could work for you guys because we have a shortage in workers. And then I directly look at the music. I look at the whole surrounding of this of what was going on with the sentencing and who it was in the age group and everything. And it's a direct target. It's a pipeline through music. You're famous, and your claim to fame is who you took out. This is your claim to fame. This is what's going on, people. You know what I mean? Your tattoo on your face is up. You're running out there looking like a damn idiot, and you're doing anything to be famous. And so now you're out there catching lives and doing robberies and doing all these things, and then you're posting up on Instagram because at least then you can be famous. So you want to be famous so bad that you kill something that looks like you,
Mm.
and then your alternative is to beg to be a slave for the rest of your life. What a waste of the marching and the protest if all these things happen. What a waste of the history, you know what I mean, of the triumph of making it out of that situation and being able to thrive. And honestly, if 80% of us do what we're supposed to do, yeah, there's gonna still be those people out there that don't want us to rise because we look a certain way or we have a certain color, or we date a certain sex or whatever the hell people crapped up on. But what's happening is that we're losing ourselves. Like we're really losing ourselves in order just to be famous. These kids are going out here crazy. You know what I mean? There's a term, sliding on them. I just went and slide on my ops. There's so much people sliding, and then they say you ain't real unless you done killed something that looked like you. It's perverted out here right now.
Mhm.
And so for these young kids, and for these parents, be a parent because DC is not the only people that's going to be looking to do this. They said that they have a shortage in workers for the jails. This is something that can get popular. This is something that can go state to state. And this is something that will make you take responsibility for your child, for the child that you have. You
And there
can't
you
say, oh,
have it.
he's just under control. You have to do something. Now, unfortunately, that's still going to put kids in the system because a lot of parents are going to be like, hey, I can't deal with them. We got to get them up out the house. There's a lot that goes with this. There's a lot that goes with this. But the prison pipeline is what we're talking about. Whether it's Julio Fulio's murderers or whether it's the lady saying that the parent needs to do some time with these kids for letting these kids run out of control out here and run amok. Um, they're looking to increase the population and the workers for the prison industrial complex. AI is coming and taking a lot of remedial jobs, as well as second tier jobs at this point. People trying to be
But
famous.
but at the
What's
end
up?
of the day, it's like where do you draw the line? When somebody goes out and murders somebody, whether it's a 20-year old or 30, 40-year old or whatever, they made that decision. They made a conscious decision to do that. And like I said, burden is still on the state or the government to prove that they did what they did. Now, like you said, these four gentlemen, they've already been proven guilty. We're just at the sentencing phase right now. So at the sentencing, it's like this is their lawyer pleading for their life. It's like, hey, think about this. Instead of killing them, they can work for you for the rest of their lives. At the end of the day, it's got to be a life for a life. That's the only thing that's fair.
Mm. Eh,
And
Spoken
I'm talking,
truth.
and I'm specifically talking about, and I'm specifically talking about murder.
So with the Julio Folio, with the murder, you saying you get what you get. So whether you clean up trash or making plates for the rest of your life, you already wrote your
You
shit in
made your
blood.
decision.
You made your decision, and then
Yeah,
from there, why should I care
you
whether
got to
whether
stand on it.
you got to stand on it? You got to stand on it. Unfortunately, young men, you're gonna have to stand on it. You know,
Yeah, heaven forbid
when
if
you
you were living or existing in another country and did said crimes, you would be dead. Plain and simple.
I want to look it up. I want to look it up. We're gonna revisit it, but I'm gonna look it up. I
Mm-hmm.
want to look at what the death rate is, what the death penalty is abroad, outside of here, outside of our bubble. You know what I mean? To see what
Mm.
what it really is. That's really weigh it. That's really see it. Because I think a lot of times what
I
we
mean,
say, and
there are.
I'm not saying Regina's wrong neither. I'm saying I want to look it up so that I
That,
know,
mm-hmm.
what it is, what
Yeah,
the numbers really
it,
look
it,
like. Because in America, we don't get good information. We get propaganda. Most of us speak from propaganda because we're on one side or the other on one issue or another. And then the pride takes in, and then, we don't give a fuck. We'll blow up a clinic to save a life. How ironic is that? You know what I mean? So, I just know that we live in a bubble. So I just want to make sure I look it up, because for this podcast, we want to really make sure that you guys get good information, not just our opinion. I think so. Is that fair?
It's more than fair.
yeah,
It's what you
absolutely.
should do.
We won't like the outcome all the time. You know what I mean? I've been in error.
No,
I've been on real time here reporting a story, pulled up the information like, oh nope, this is bad information. But a lot of podcasts don't do that. What they do is they put up that picture, whatever the subject is, they go out, um, they put it out there, and then it's wrong later, and there's very few people that will go back on and be like, nope, it was wrong. Puffy didn't use that much oil or something like that. You know what I mean? And
Oh
it's up
my
to us. It's up to us to know. Was it a
God.
bottle or 5 bottles, my nigga? Like, what was you squirting?
nah, man,
You
he
know what I
used the
mean?
wrong brand.
Yeah,
It wasn't baby oil. It was Crisco.
yeah.
Oh
We want to
God.
make sure that we give you guys the real information. You
The
know,
facts.
so
Just the facts,
just
people.
do your due diligence on finding out what's going on when reporting the facts, if you know so. And that's why with Megan Thee Stallion with the 700,000, being that I wasn't privy to it, I said allegedly.
Hmm. Which is
Now,
smart. And I did the best bit of quick research. It's an internet rumor. There's nothing from any news outlet that has, backed any of that information up. So it's all rumor.
yeah, but again, Meg has a team, and so does Clay Thompson.
Hmm.
And the job of their team, their publicists and the people alike, is to make the other one look bad in it, so that the other one doesn't look bad in it. Kind of weird, right?
Yep.
So it can't be an amicable disillusion of the relationship. It always has to go to some nasty ass shit,
Yes, for
right?
likes and views and ratings, which is
Yeah.
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah, because nasty sells.
Well, you don't have to tell me. It's like it's with anything.
Goody two shoes doesn't sell. Agreeable or amicable doesn't sell.
Never has. And I'm a journalist, so trust
Nope.
me, I know. Bad news always sells. And news with this social media life that we're living, news is only good in sound bites and 15-second chunks. That's why newspapers have fallen off the bandwagon. Once that stuff is
Yes,
printed,
because
it's old.
the attention span. The attention span. Who has the attention span to read each of these columns? I remember when being a columnist was a big deal. Hey, I was a columnist for the New York Times, or I was a column. It doesn't mean anything now. It's only what you can click up. I mean, I've seen a lot of AI generated posts of just misinformation. Someone is
Mhm.
running that reel. Someone is running that space. And whoever's running that space, shame on you. Shame on you. But again, some people operate in the space of this is where I can make $1 at. So this is what I'm
Yeah.
going to report. But again, both of their people are going to use these tactics. So, and I have a sneaking suspicion that on both sides, the reports are real. It's just nastiness. And when I say this, I
Well,
say
you know how the
because,
old
huh?
you know how the old adage says there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah. I mean, it is for an NBA player. It isn't for a rapper. You
Yeah,
dig?
yeah, with the
It
yeah,
is
you're
for an
right with the
NBA
what you
player.
call it,
It isn't for a rapper who
morality.
drops down on their knees
Yeah,
and does the twerk. For them, as long as they're getting views, they're getting a paycheck from whatever outlet, social media otherwise that they're using, whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, what we use, or whatever. There's a pay scale associated with those views and what they're putting on there. And their fan base, the real part of their fan base. Remember, a lot of those shits are bots. A lot of them are fake.
mm,
You know what I mean? So you're gonna see a lot of podcasts now. Um, they got a lot of fake bots. I don't have fake bots. We got the one fan. We gonna rock out and we gonna turn that one fan to 10 fans, 10 to 100. Just people that want to give input and like the content. But what I'm not going to do is, what I know to be done in the media is, shore up all this stuff with bots. I want real people, real situations, because those are the people that are going to stick with you. And when you're
very
a
true.
star like Drake or Megan the Stallion or something like that, you got a lot of bots involved in your fame. Fake, fake bots. Scott?
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, I don't know. Is your thing lagging again?
I think so. It might be.
All right. But anyway, it's a lot of bots out there. You know what bots are, Regina? Regina.
Sorry,
Hello.
sorry about that. Yes, I have heard of the term. I do understand loosely what bots are.
Yeah, it's when you pay for something like SMS, and you can give them like $1.50, and they'll give you 1 million views. They'll give you 1,000 views. Oh no, 10,000 views or whatever. Um, but they're not real. So if you believe they're real and you keep doing it, it's an expensive habit to keep up. Record labels do it because it turns out money. Um, but often the artist afterwards finds out that they're not as famous as they thought they were because now they're not giving the bots anymore. And so then the so-called fans are not following them more because they're not real.
Hmm.
They're bots. You know what I mean? And that's when you see people fall. You're like, oh my God, they were so famous. I remember they had millions of views. I'm like, it's not real. So, they put the next person, younger, better looking, whatever, in place, and then they'll start it up again.
Yep.
So,
Controversial.
yeah, I mean, it was a big thing with the Drake and Kendrick battle. And I know that's something else Regina had no clue on and no shade
Not
on that.
entirely true.
Uh,
Not entirely true.
so you have some knowledge on it.
But very little. Continue.
All right, so the here was a big touch with it, and you can tell me what you understand of it. Drake sued his own company for inflating Kendrick Lamar's numbers, so
I heard
that
that.
it looked like he, won the battle. And then in the lawsuit, it was the countersuit was alleged that, well, then we're inflating everyone's, and it's the same company. The same company runs all of it.
Hmm.
So they were like, well, then that would be the same for you. That's what everyone's saying. Well, you got the same company; they're doing the same for you then. But the bigger deal was
Mm.
it's not real because he snitched. He was so mad that he snitched on what they do for him.
now that's
Yes,
now that's bad.
that's big
You
mad.
so mad
Like,
that you gonna snitch on yourself.
yes, yeah. That's what he did. He essentially snitched on himself in the industry, and that became the lawsuit. Now, ironically enough, the lawsuit was throwing out. It was thrown out of court, so he lost,
Mm.
and he's still working with the same said company. Drake just released his album Iceman. It came out Friday. Is doing very well. I don't know if it's real doing well or not because he's told on himself that they do bots. So I don't know that. I've heard 2 or 3 songs. They're all right. They're not slaps. They're 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 like a lot of his outside of his very 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 first mixtape that he came out with. As far as memorable, it's hard for memorable Drake songs outside of God's Plan. Um, there's just not a lot of memorables outside of the first album. So I mean, and that's before they had the bots going heavy and all this other stuff. All this stuff was when they still had CDs. When you still had to buy a hard copy of something.
Mm.
That's why there'll never be another Michael Jackson because you had to go buy Michael Jackson stuff. You didn't download it. You had to go purchase it. You had to stand in line and wait for it to come out. You had to
Yeah.
spend your $20. You read the liner notes. You cherish it. If somebody stole your CD, you was ready to fight.
Mm.
Regina,
Yeah.
you're a peaceful person. Was you ready to fight when someone stole your CD?
That never happened to me in life.
Oh, see, you had good friends, Regina. That's why you're a good person. Okay, I didn't have good friends. All right, I had Scott. But even I probably took a CD from him. Okay,
Oh,
because that's how we were
God.
living. Okay, that's how
Hey,
we were living.
Go ahead,
It's a good
brothers.
it ain't
CD.
that
If
big.
it's a good
Brothers
mixtape,
gonna work
somebody
it
had it.
out. Brothers
You
gonna
know.
work it out.
Oh,
Work it out, brothers.
Yeah, but you had to go buy that. You had to physically touch that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I still
It, it, it,
I still
it
remember
wasn't.
the first CD I ever bought.
What was it?
First, it was Mickey Howard. It was Mickey Howard
Oh wow,
CD,
Mickey
and
Howard.
I remember when like the CDs cost like $25, $26. You
Oh
know,
gosh.
I remember them
when
costing
they
$20.
first came out. Yeah,
He talks about buying
and I remember I
CDs,
kept, I
but
kept
go ahead.
and I still had the cardboard, which call it the case that it came in and everything. Yeah.
I thought he was gonna talk about the first album you bought.
Oh
No,
wow.
well that was
Yeah,
that
she
that
hit you with
well
that.
no, the
She said the
first
first
tape
album you bought.
No, the first
the
piece of
first tape
vinyl.
was Eric B and Rakim. No, but the first tape that I bought before I started buying vinyl, first
Mm-hmm.
tape that I bought was Eric B and Rakim.
Mm. Good taste.
Yep, Eric
Actually,
B. Eric B for president. Yep.
you still have any of that stuff? I actually still have some 33s, some cassette tapes, and there might be a CD or two somewhere out there. I remember when
I
Prince was in
I
concert, and I won a whole Prince CD collection off of WTIC because Prince was doing this
oh
concert.
shit.
I was hoping to get tickets, but I got the whole CD collection. I was like, thank you.
You got the CD collection and not the damn ticket.
It was
Hey,
a
but
reasonably
those
consolation
CD
prize.
yeah that CD
Yeah.
collection is probably worth
Was
something now.
What was that your first CD? Was that your first CD?
I doubt it highly. I really can't remember what my first CD is right now. I'd have to look in my collection.
It probably was Mighty Clouds of Joy.
No, Mighty Clouds of Joy came out in the age of vinyl. Now, if you want to be funny, since we're going down this road, my mom actually has a 33 of the Mighty Clouds of Joy. So there you go.
33 of the Mighty Clouds of Joy. You know what I'm saying?
And
Well, that was
everybody
it.
on this pod should know the difference between a 33, a 78, and a 45. So we shouldn't have to
You
explain.
damn
Oh,
right.
listen, we know about
You know what a dub? You know what a
the
dub plate is?
stereophonic. That was a big piece of furniture.
You
Furniture.
know what a you know what a dub plate is, Regina?
Did you say a duck plate or a dust
No,
plate?
dub, D-U-B,
Oh, a dub
dub
plate.
plate.
Heard of it,
Yes,
but no, I don't. Heard of it, but I
yeah.
don't.
See, a dub plate is the it's a cop. It looks like vinyl, but it's heavier, and
Hmm.
and the music's put on it. It's just a plate that they make copies off of, and it can only be played a couple of times before you can't play it anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Learn
it's
something new.
called a dub plate. A lot of DJs like sometimes if they got a hold of some music somebody's track and they would put on a dub plate and then that's how they would have the bootleg out.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, well,
interesting.
if it was the
Yeah, I'm
illegal
So
still
side of it, I knew about it.
it's like a temporary master.
yeah,
Yes, yes, it's
and I
it's a
yep,
temporary master.
and I'm
You know what I
still
mean?
holding on. Not that I'm still holding on. My mom paid for this stereo set in the '90s because she was like, I gotta have something to play my records on and my CDs and everything else. So yes, that stereo system that you saw in my living room, that's hers. Can I get her to get rid of it? No.
No, I mean I even have a record player at my house. Hey, don't we have a record player, Scott?
Yeah, but you got a modern one. You got the
Yeah,
one
it
that
doesn't matter.
is
I
that
just said that we have a record player. I
Bluetooth.
just had the same one. I said we still.
Okay.
It doesn't matter that it has
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
No, I'm saying,
I'm
no, I'm
saying
saying,
it plays vinyl. We have a
Mhm.
vinyl record player at
yeah,
the house. Yes.
Put the
So
needle on the
we
record.
yes, you put the needle on the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
show that to your grandson. Grandson's like,
let,
what's this?
I have, and let me tell you something. They said the music sounds better
It does.
because
Vinyl
it's
is a
richer.
it
beautiful
does.
thing.
It's richer. It's richer.
Yeah,
It sounds better. You know what I mean? Everything about the analog of it sounds great. You know what I mean? So, I mean, digital was still good. When I came up, digital was not. It was too clean, so we couldn't feel a lot of the samples and we couldn't feel a lot of the instrumentation of it. So we were against it. Lo and behold, I came out, it was all the rave. It was Fruity Loops, it was everything that started from Cubase VST digital. Um, so I mean, I still like vinyl though. I
Mhm.
will always like vinyl. When I did a hip hop album back in the day, I think it's '96, and it was on vinyl. It was on vinyl and it was on tape. I don't think it was on CD, but it was on vinyl and it was on tape.
Cool.
Man, great accomplishment, but it was dope. Vinyl is definitely where it's at. I can't believe you don't
definitely.
remember your first vinyl that you bought.
No, it's like my tastes were very varied. I know I had movie soundtracks. I had Michael Jackson. I had the Jackson Five. I had Prince. A little bit of everything, but no gospel. I have no gospel on any kind of
You had no
vinyl.
damn
That's all my
gospel.
mom. That's all my mom. That's all my mom.
I had
45s,
people
33s, the whole nine.
I had people across the street from me when I lived on Edgewood, and one of their oh my god, what was his name? Oh, he hit me on Facebook one time too, but his stepdad or dad, I don't know which one it was. Back in the day, you just never knew, but he was in a gospel group. They had the Jerry curls and all that stuff, and I
Uh-huh.
remember them touring with like the Mighty Clouds of Joy. and that's where I get that name from.
Shit,
It's not
not
that I
that.
even heard their music like that. It's just that I knew somebody whose father or stepfather toured with them.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm doing that. So it's a
No small
coinky
change.
dink.
No
Yeah.
small change.
I looked them
Small
up later
world.
and I was like, hey, they was getting it. The Mighty Clouds of
Oh,
Joy was getting it. Okay.
yep.
They was
Because they
selling
had
they
a
was
certain,
selling it
they had a
out.
certain, yeah, they had a certain amount of crossover appeal too. If you look up
Yes.
Mighty High, that track says a lot.
I was more of the I liked the Winans, BB and CC Winan.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven is where I want to be was that song for me. I like that. Again, I'm non-religious, but I love that song. That song was beautiful.
It
So
spoke to you.
yeah, I love BB and CC Wine. You know what I mean? Like they were always comforting. I like Shirley Caesar too. She was cool. She cut up too, man. She can go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Miss Caesar, she can go. That's
absolutely.
Yeah,
royalty
don't
right there.
forget Patty.
Yeah, I jumped in Shirley Caesar's limo on Barber Street when she went to Rise Records to do a record signing.
Oh
Yeah,
really? Oh,
yeah. She's like, boy, why are you in
Yeah,
here? And I said, because it's a limo. What the fuck you mean? Like,
yeah, they're the Roz. They were related to her some way, shape, or form.
yeah, I just know she was doing a record signing there. I just happened to be. I'll be honest. It was the day of homecoming because I remember I had on all black and then I had on the black troop sweater and
Your
you
troop
know the
sweater. Yep.
yeah
oh
and
boy.
I
It was
remember
blue. It was blue with the leather patches and shit. I remember
no, it
that.
was black. I said it was black. It was a black troop sweater and had the red, the black or whatever with it with the puffy letters on the sweatshirt or whatever of it. But I had on all black. I'm about to go. What was her name? Parthenia Kitchens to homecoming at Weaver, and I went up to Roz Records. I'm all clean, you know what I mean? They had this girl there that used to like me. I forgot her name, but anyway, her name escapes me.
Pebble sister.
I, yeah, she was red, like really red, not light skinned. Like
Hmm.
it was weird. What was her fucking name? Anyway, we were cool. But I went there to check her out, say hi, show I'm fly today. And Shirley Season was there with the limo. And I remember saying, I want to see what's in the limo. And they were just ushering people out, getting the limo, go to I think they were doing a Bushnell or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they ushering people on. They're like, hey, come on, you gotta get in the limo. I'm like, okay. I went and got in the limo. Went and got straight in the limo, straight like that on everything. Like,
With his
and
16, 17-year-old self. Oh god.
Miss Caesar was in there.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
said, "Boy, why are you in here?" I said, "Cause it's a limo. They told me to get in." And she said, you ain't supposed to be here." I said, "I'm so sorry, man. I just wanted to see what it was like in there." You know what I'm saying?
He was honest.
I was
Yeah,
honest. I was like,
when you
"Hey,
told me that, I thought you were full of shit.
mm,
His brush with
nope." It
flame.
was
No, you said,
homecoming.
yeah. When you say you can, yeah, you got in Shirley Caesar's limo and whatnot. I was like, yeah, I got Shirley Caesar's limo earlier. I was like, man, you full of shit.
Yeah, I told you when it happened.
Yeah, I
I
told you. I
said
was like, yo, you full of shit.
Oh
I just went
god.
straight, and it was nice too. You know what I mean? It was real nice. I was like, yeah, this is nice gospel music getting some money. You know what I'm saying? Out here. They getting some money out here. Not one gold chain on them. You know what I'm saying? Except the cross of Jesus. That's it. But they
Nope.
was they was getting to that bag. I was like, this
Oh
is really
god.
nice. This wasn't like this the regular. I was like, man. She said, what you doing in here? I said, they told me to get in.
Only
But she was
now to
cool as a
find something
cucumber.
like
She
that.
was cool as a cucumber. She
Yeah,
didn't
because
trip
she's
out
from
or
the
nothing.
neighborhood.
Yeah, she's from Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Newark, so I understand. And
You know,
again, you give us an opportunity
and she
like that, we gonna go
probably,
in the limo. What'd you say, Scott?
I'm sure she probably knew that. I said she probably knew the Houstons as well, you know, and the
No, no, but
Tysons.
that's the aunt, and like some of them used to come over our house. That's how I knew like Whitney was wild. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I was
Hmm.
like, y'all have no idea. Like my aunties and all them know, know them. These are all people that went to school. You know what I mean? Together, and like this was normal. But them being rich and famous and all that stuff, like I never partook in that. I can't claim any of that. But I do know they used to come over the house when I was a kid. And, again, she was wild since she was a kid. Even when they did the documentary on her, she was wild. She been wild. She been wild. So when she met Bobby, when people were putting it on Bobby, I was like, yeah, Bobby wild and everything, but you have no idea who this lady is. This lady get it
You
in.
remember when we went to school with Bobby's cousins, the twins?
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Yep.
I think they were in your class.
Yeah.
He's a
Was they
burst of
singers?
fame.
Yeah,
Scott, the twins, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Jagged Edge. The twins, that's
Oh shit!
yes, that's Jagged Edge. That's
I can,
oh my God,
yeah, I can remember
Peanut
that. I
and
can remember that.
it's Peanut and the other one. But they're the twins. That's I think that's
Yeah.
Jagged Edge. They live in Atlanta now. They've been claiming Atlanta so long, but they really from Hartford. What you
Mm.
call it? Jagged
Yeah.
Edge.
Well, you remember Surface was from
Hmm.
Bloomfield.
Remember
Um,
they were living in the Richardson. Remember in the apartments in the Richardson, the nice little whatever.
yeah.
Now they Airbnb them and
Yeah.
all that shit, but it is with the Lost and all that shit in there.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple of them. There was a couple of groups. Um, it was Surface, and I forgot there was some another one.
I think Surface was Shower Me With Your Love, right?
Yep,
Was that show? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yep,
That was
yep.
Surface. Yep. Shower
But
me with
there was
your
another one
love.
too, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was it Silk.
Mm. Silk is from Jersey, I believe.
It
Yeah.
was another group I can't remember, but but there was a lot. There was a lot that came from
No,
the
I
Northeast,
think I
from the
think it was
tri-state area.
two in the room. Two in the room was from Connecticut.
Mm,
Was it two in the room?
Wow.
you
I
got
know
me
there
on
was
that one.
Connecticut had a lot of people that came out of there, but unfortunately, once they got out of there, they never let people know that was from Connecticut because New York was so popular at the time. People would try to like
Well, of
New York.
course,
They barely would say Jersey. They would barely say Jersey. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It was
everybody
all
wants to
about New
identify
York.
with New York. Yeah,
I couldn't tell
that
because
New
when I
York
got to
was the musical
Connecticut,
epicenter.
when I got to Connecticut, it's like they hated New Yorkers. They was like, "Yeah, I can't stand you." I'm like, "What the fuck did I do?" You know what I'm
Another
saying?
thing. You just from New York,
He's from New
aspiring
Hey,
to
York.
I
whatever
ain't
you
having a
want.
problem with you. I thought you were cool.
Man, you wanted to kill me when you first met me.
Well,
That was
Shut y'all
that
down.
wasn't because you were a New Yorker. That wasn't because you were a New Yorker. That was just because you were an asshole.
oh
Well,
gosh.
that's synonymous with being a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Well, I mean, shit. Hey, and we've been lifelong friends and brothers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it can happen, folks. A person from New York can't get along with a person from Hartford. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can
Even
happen.
yours truly.
Well, aren't you from Hartford?
Me, yes, born and raised.
Yeah. They both born and raised in Hartford. I was all over the place. I was Jersey, New York. Then I got to Hartford. That was a lot of trips.
Culture shock. And you're not the
Culture
only
shock.
one.
Yeah,
You're not the only
Segregation.
one. My friend Anna was from New York City too, and she landed in Hartford as a high schooler. She's like, what the heck?
She must have thought it was
Hartford's
crazy because we've never seen this much segregation.
no, she
I
was
didn't
just
see that
like,
everybody,
shit though.
it is boring and slow. That was her way of putting it.
everybody that you talk to from New York would say Hartford was slow, like country
Hmm.
slow.
No, it
Yep.
was. I was so fast. I've been off the porch so long. I was like, man, y'all ain't off the porch. It's like, come on, you got to get going. You got to
Mm,
get out there and see the world, see what's going on.
No, I did not realize
I'm
that the Casey twins were from Hartford, though.
a lot of people I knew from Connecticut, from Hartford, like they really didn't want to leave their 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 neighborhood. It was the weirdest thing.
I'm
I
glad the
just,
universe. I'm glad the universe allowed me or gave me a way out.
Mm-hmm.
well,
Yeah.
I think you gave yourself away. I think you listened to the universe and it steered you in a certain way. We was talking about this earlier. And when it steers you in a certain way, if you let the nudge pull you where you need to go, then you'll go the right way. If you let the nudge pull you the other way, well, you got me. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta you gotta let the nudge push you the
It
right way.
it was
Okay.
all divine alignment. All divine alignment for each and every one of us on here.
No, I mean I like wine like anyone else, but I don't think the vines, you know, put all this shit together. I think
Very cute play on words, and you know that wasn't what I meant.
I know. I know. Hey, um I had Christy. I had put up a post where it was a pretty vulnerable post of when and how I started this podcast. You know what I mean? So, it was me in the corner, you know, just trying to save myself, trying to figure it out, trying to take my own advice. And then, just listen to people at the same time and try to just, some positive affirmation, about, doing the right things, being consistent, opening doors, even taking advice, talking about taking advice from the people on the pod, whether it's Christy, whether it's, Regina, Scott, anybody that's on it, Sasha, just listening to different opinions, not agreeing with them all the time, but listening to them because listening should be valid enough. If I'm willing to listen to you and your point of view, I shouldn't have to agree with you. I should be just willing to listen to you. Anywho, from that
Absolutely,
post,
all the way around the board.
appreciate that. Um, anyway, from that post, I literally only got one negative response, and it was from Christine. She said, I hate to say that. Let me pick it up on my phone because I can. I love that I have the second phone now, so I can look this up. So I don't kill nobody's words here. And by the way, Christy will still be coming on the podcast. Love her to death. So this is not a kill Christy thing. Just some insight. Um, she says, and I quote, I got to read this. So if my eyes aren't looking at the camera, my apology. Don't be offended. Promise not to get mad. Just something to think about. This seems very self-centered. You should be also taught taking advice from people in the pod, especially through those times. That's the one thing I don't really like. It's you being the expert in everything and correcting people when you're not always right. This was the words of Christy. Now, I invite people to always go back and look at the I have the short of that. It's fairly recent. It's called Harold Knows Nothing for a reason. Because at the end of the day, what do we all know? Jack shit. It's a forum.
Nothing.
It's a nice discussion. I'm gonna push back for the people that are not here to push. So even if I don't agree with the opposite of the argument, I'm gonna still present the opposite of the argument. For this is not a one-sided pod. This is not a Christian pod. This is not a Muslim pod. This is not a Democratic pod or liberal pod. This is not a what's the other folks out there? And you got the liberals
Republicans.
and yeah, it's not the Republican pod and it's not the they got conservative pod. This is just Herald pod. I got some friends that come along on the ride. Some may be there in the end, as they say, and some may drift off to the side. But it is called Herald No. So it's going to be self centered when I'm saying I'm the one that felt like I was at my end's rope. I was sick. I was mentally tormented. Um, and I was going through something and I just wanted to figure it out. So that's self centered. And I invite everyone in their life to be self centered. It is not an evil word. That's why I shout out to Christy for that. Um, because if you don't take care of yourself, who the fuck will? If if you're not looking to take care of yourself and you're looking for everyone to take care of you, then you're not self centered. But if you're self centered, you should be centered in your life. You should try to be stoic as possible. And you should think about yourself. People
Well, that's where
poison.
selfishness is a good thing.
Yeah, well, it's not even selfishness. You know what I mean? It's being self-centered. You want to be
Hmm.
centered, right? You want to be grounded, you want to be focused, right? You want to be on target, you want to
Hmm.
be on point, and you want to do it for yourself because you're representing you. A
Hmm.
lot of things that people teach you are bad or not bad. Be self-centered. Take care of you because when you don't, people will talk about you. And guess what? When you do, people will still talk about you.
Indeed.
And when if you do something honest, pure, and for the right reasons, like when I dropped that particular part of the episode that's short, um, it takes, as Regina says, a lot of bravery for people to do that because it's not a glamorous thing. It's not something that, oh my God, look how sexy I am, or oh my God, look at this. This is like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Maybe you're going through it too, you know? And
Exactly.
if that's what you get out of listening to it, it doesn't speak to me. It only speaks to you. It only speaks to you. You know what I mean? But I definitely appreciate and agree that in that particular short, I was being self centered because I was going through something.
Mhm.
And that's how I got there in that very corner that Scott's sitting at right now. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to everyone because they definitely brought me through that. And I continue to walk through it. And I invite everybody to walk through it with us. You know what I'm saying? And get down the road. And I'm sorry you seen it. I'm not sorry you see it that way. Because again, it was an honest expression from a man going through something, and I know people have problems with the "amen" statement, but as a man, as a man, I love doing that shit. As
Oh,
as a man, I was just going. But this is why men are scared or fearful or not quick to be confiding in women
we're vulnerable.
because if you can see something that innocent and that honest and still try to find something wicked out of it, you got a long way to go.
Weaponization.
Well, you got a long way to go to finding somebody because there was nothing in that in the direction by which they were trying to say it. I'm flipping the words because I'm a little bit articulate. So I'm going to flip the words so that it doesn't seem so bad or at what they were saying, even though I read it off to the world at this point. Um, but it just shows that not everyone has your interest. On you being a better version of you because it may not coincide with them being a better version of themselves. You
Yeah,
dig?
that's
So you
very.
can,
That's a very astute. That's a very astute observation.
yeah. I mean, again, I learned not to get heated or mad at people for their viewpoints. You know what I mean? I asked them to understand minds, and minds is always, you know, a lot of times it's going to be devil's advocate because you need to know what the flip side of the coin is. You need to know, what the butterfly effect is of it. When if you say, "Hey, if you don't like it, leave the country," people say that to us, and we're going to get offended. You can't say it because people don't want to watch Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl. They have a right not to want to watch him. They have a right to. But because they don't want to, you can't say, or you can say, but one shouldn't say, hey, well, then you should leave the country. Because when people don't like your political views or what you may want to do, you don't like what they want to do, then you don't want someone to tell you to leave the country. You know, the biggest thing about this country used to be tolerance. I'm seeing a lot less tolerance and a lot more pointing the finger. A lot more pointing the finger. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that. What do you think, Regina? You think a lot of people pointing the finger?
Oh heck yeah. Every day, all over. It's very few of us that decide to take some introspection and look at, well, what am I contributing to this? And as for me, I'm trying to contribute nothing but love and positivity and encouragement and see that flower in others that I encounter, whether I know you well or not. That's where I operate from.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
You seen this short? Did you think it was self centered and there was something in there that says I'm not listening to people in that particular clip?
Wait a minute. Did I comment on it? Because if
Yes,
I
you
didn't
did.
comment, okay.
Yes, you did.
I think I commented
I actually
on
mentioned
what.
what you commented when what I actually
Okay.
mentioned exactly what you said because I could read it from my phone.
All right. Um. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, how as far as how the podcast started. Um.
Yes.
I, to me, there was nothing. There was nothing wrong in what you said, and you had every right to say it. How people interpreted, well, that's on them. But I understood where you were coming from with it, and it is no small thing to put yourself out there in the public venue and say what you said. Not at all. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know if even I could be that brave.
so my but my thing is and you're a smart girl. So when you listen to something, whether you're listening to the words, you're listening to what's going on. If ever there's an opposite of it, you will ask, "Hey, what do you mean?" You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you're clear spoken. So what I'm saying is, in any of that, did you see a reason for that retort that I got?
Um, for me, I would say no, but this is where uh, and I can't speak for Christy, and I'm not going to speak for Christy.
No,
So
no, no.
I,
No one's asking you to. I'm
uh,
asking you from what you because I've gotten a lot of response from that. That
mm,
I read a few off more towards what you're saying, more towards your comment actually, right?
right.
So my saying is that's why I said it has more to do with them than with me with
Mm,
that particular comment because everyone was actually in unison like either was a brave comment or was like I didn't know that or you know what I
hmm.
mean but it
Right.
was nothing to you're not listening to advice because there was nothing on there about that except the part of me saying that I will and I do you know what I mean so there
Hmm.
was nothing in that for that so this is when again men get really 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 scary with women because if you can pull out of nothing something it always speaks to what you're going through and whatever
Hmm.
you're going through as a friend I'm going to go through it with you but you always got to recognize when someone is giving you some energy that's not that's misplaced that doesn't
Hmm.
belong there. You know what I mean? There's been times where my brother might not be in the right headspace or the right mood, and he was getting his shit together. You know what I mean? And I back off. You know what I mean? Or we'll talk, or whatever the case may be. But what I wouldn't do is if he took the opportunity to say, "Hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm feeling." I don't have to agree with it, and he'll tell you this. I did this for forever. Don't have to agree with it. We'll talk it out. We can revisit it. We can do whatever. I'm not going to dismiss it, but I'm not going to add to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just not going to add to it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely if you
Because
don't know that person's story.
yeah, but even if that person is telling you their story, I'm not going to discount it. I'm not going to
I,
Yeah,
I
discount it.
yeah, I agree with that. I
e-
definitely agree with
everyone,
that.
everyone's feeling and point of view is valid.
Exactly.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why Harold and I have been, our friendship, brotherhood, relationship has lasted as long as it has because we we're both men in that we respect each other's opinion and respect what they're going through. And like you said, sometimes I may not be 100%, but for someone to understand that and to be like, okay, I got you. Whatever you're going through, I got your back. We'll get through it together.
Hmm.
Sometimes
That's
that's what you need.
Yeah,
true.
Everybody.
exactly it. That's exactly it. And again, it's not a beatdown. It's not a beatdown because I read out what the response was, and I invite anyone from the pod to look at the short. Like I said, it's fairly recent. It's only probably a couple posts back on the shorts. Kind of doing well on the numbers, but anyway, yeah. Matter of fact, I think it did like over 1,024 hours. It was like a pretty good short, and it got I got a lot of messages on the Facebook side. You know what I mean? But the reviews on all the pages were really good with it. But it was just an honest place that I was at, and I wanted to express it. And it was kind of off. It set me back when she had sent me that, and I was like, wow, I didn't know you seen it that way. But maybe
Hmm.
you were taking all of the interactions with the pod, and then you're saying this is your feelings on the interactions. You know what I mean? So I was
Hmm.
like, all right, maybe that could be it. But she directly responded to that particular short. So I was like, wow, how did you get that out of there?
True.
Where was the
That's why.
transference at?
Well,
Yeah, that's
well,
why getting
it's
Let me hear what Regina
go
got to
ahead.
say. What you say, Regina?
no. That's why getting clarity. This is why speaking person to person or voice to voice counts for a whole lot more than something that is typed. Because anything that is written or typed, you cannot translate the nuances in a person's voice and what is being spoken, even if it's through video screens. And that's the thing about writing that I try to be very careful about. And what some may see as me being uptight or too detailed, I'm being deliberate with what I write because I want what I write to translate in your mind the same way as how I speak. But it really doesn't do that. That's why, for example, Harold, when you were going off the cuff about me being like, it's like, seems like you're sliding on Asperger's here. I kind of took an affront to that and I was like, well, wait a minute, what exactly do you mean? And we never did wind up speaking voice to voice about it. But I believe I was clear enough in what I wrote to try and get a sense of understanding. Well, was this just a vocal play here, or is there something to it? Because I believe
It's
that
it's a it was a let me clarify something. First
I
of
mean, I'm
all,
not offended by it because
when
we've already
when
hashed
I
it out and
when
gone through it.
when I say the Asperger's thing, I say that about me all the time. I
Mm.
consider myself highly intelligent, by the way.
Okay.
Um, So no, it's actually, of course, I come from a place with a lot of idiots. So
Gosh.
I happen to make it across that plane.
I
Um,
see a lot. I see intellect there. I
I
know it's there.
I have intelligent friends. One of them is my ex-wife's sister's husband. He has Asperger's. He's also
Mhm.
a nuclear engineer. He builds
Mhm.
nuclear power plants everywhere. One time he was asking me about trucking because I was doing trucking at the time. All right,
Mhm.
and he was asking me some intrusive questions. And she had explained to me that, he has Asperger's, right? And it's just one form of it, right? Where, he just wants the information. He doesn't know if it's intrusive. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
not it's not purposeful. You know what I mean? I say as a joke because I do it, and I believe I have it because I just learned to curve it with comedy. You know what I mean? With levity. So I'll make a joke out of it instead of just saying the direct and uncomfortable question that I'm burning to ask. That's probably got me punched in the eye or you smacked by my mom a numerous amount of times. You know what I mean? But I'm on a frequency where I am trying to get answers to things as quick as possible. You know what I mean? So I don't see that my directness is offensive. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I had to start making light of it, like, oh shit, man, I probably got Asperger's. You know, then when I finally met somebody with Asperger's and he did the same thing that I was talking about, it was funny. So it's just a running joke for me. But it's not an offensive joke because the person I'm talking about is one of the most intelligent motherfucking people I know. And period, including everybody I'm talking to on this panel, myself and anyone else. He is A1 class and a great guy on top of that. Gil, shout out to Gil. You know, flies his own airplane. He was going to teach me how to fly. So I'm talking about somebody that I respect. You know what I mean? And that's where that was coming from. So it was never a place of disrespect. You don't know that history, but I invite you to know the intelligence of the people that I'm talking about, including myself. It's not an offensive thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, when you ask something, you might ask it direct, and it may not seem like it's impolite, or you might say a phrasing or something that you think. It's nothing wrong with thinking how you think. Anybody can correct somebody on something that they might have thought about them. That's not a big deal, but it's definitely something that we can laugh at because it's bullshit. It's not something I'm going to end my 30, 40-year relationship over. You know what I mean? Yeah, come on, we're dying out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. We're all we got. Stop fucking around. You know, the dog in the picture's gone. You know what I'm saying? So is the lady. Because you're a different lady from the lady in that picture.
He is a good boy.
You know what I mean? So it's just not that serious. So that's why, like I said, when I seen that, I didn't see an insult from Christy. What I seen was some pain. I seen something that they're going through. I talked to him afterwards. As a matter of fact, no one asked me what was my response.
Thank you.
What was your response?
I have it right here. Happen to have it up. Let me read it off to you. It says, just plain devil's advocate. I'm just provoking uncomfortable conversation, and I could never be mad at you. You have a right to your opinion, and also your opinion should be respected. I literally expressed this in the last podcast well before this one. People are way too serious over shit that don't matter when you're lying on the bed looking at this. So when you're lying on your deathbed, this shit would be bullshit. So what's the deeper issue here? I also continued, sorry. Also, it is self-centered, hence the name. And I put up a laughing emoji. It's called Harold Knows. It's definitely going to be a self-centered conversation. All right. Also, I put one more thing. I literally expressed more than once on the pod and in private, your advice helped me grow and move in a positive direction. Just saying. And you've all witnessed this. Of course, it's always on my shorts. Link in the bio, and you guys can go on the Harold Knows podcast to see any of them. Like, share, and subscribe, please. You know what I mean? Put you are the best, love you. And then she put LOL, sorry, I figured it was too harsh. Love you too. So that's why I said it wasn't a bash, but it was definitely something where I had to, let them know. And at the same time, it had more to do with them than with me. And sometimes if you're a really good friend, you'll recognize that. If somebody's insulted and you don't intend to insult them, it's more to do with them than with me. So I can express from me where I'm coming from so that, hopefully you're no longer offended. But at the same time, that's some shit you got to deal with. That's not some shit I got to deal with. You know what I mean? Because me being a good friend is taking the time to say, hey, this is where I'm coming from. After that, there are no more fucks given. Because life is too short to care about that shit. It is. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? You can be mad about a text. You can be mad about a post. You can be mad about these things. But what the fuck are you really taking with you on that? That shit is just dead weight. If it's not aiding you, then it's taking away from you. You know what I mean? So when people are trying to explain their position, I suggest you listen to them. You don't have to agree with their position, but you should listen to them. You know, they're gonna grow. You may grow apart or you may grow together, but you're gonna grow one way or the other. Book of Hero. That's a fact. You
Indeed.
know, so you know, for Christy, that was a learning, moment for both of us. I'm learning that the stuff she's talking about, she's hurting, she's going through those things. She's trying to find a relationship. She's trying to have these things, but at the same time, she's not really willing to do the compromises necessary to have those things. And the compromises are not with
Mm.
the opposite person; it's with yourself. And compromise is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Being self-centered is not a bad thing. A lot of things that teach us to be a bad thing is not actually a bad thing. If you're
Yeah,
not working on
it's true.
yourself, you can't work with nobody. That's a fact. If you can't work with yourself, you can't work with nobody. You have to be self-centered. If you have the pyramid of life, at the very top is not even food or shelter, it is sanity. Because if you're not sane, you will not make it through the night to get the food or sanity without people aiding you. You know what I mean? We're human beings. We need each other to survive. We need each other
No
to survive.
person is an island upon themselves.
That's right. No person is an island upon themselves.
There's a song that speaks to that.
I'm sure it's probably by the mighty clouds of joy. Um,
No, it's not. No, it is not. But the lyrics are real.
you better learn.
Oh God. He loves him some mighty clouds of joy. I can tell
I
you
do. I
that
just
much.
love that fucking
Hey,
name. I'm so jealous of people they come up with these cool ass names before I ever thought of it. You know what I mean? Or they're born with like cool names. You know what I mean? I got Harold Shipley. It'll get you a job, but it's not really flashy. Okay. So Harold knows being self-centered is all I got for the record, Christy. Okay. That's what I'm working with
Harold Shipley does sound like a banker.
yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds
Harold,
I always got
It
a
yeah,
sounds
job.
very white. No offense
Yes,
to anybody,
thanks,
but it
yeah.
sounds
thanks a
real
lot,
white.
Regina. Good one. You got that one off. Sounds very white. Thanks. So, but you know, I had a friend, Anthony Heartless. I swear to God, that's such a cool name, and it's so me. You know what I mean? I'm heartless. At times. So it would be Harold Heartless. That would have been dope. Shout out to Anthony Heartless. You know what I mean? You know what was crazy about Anthony Heartless? I remember him calling me one time, and he's talking to me about getting into a fist fight with his father and bragging, "Yeah, I got the old man this time. He thought I was washed, but I got him." I'm like, he's like 70 now, bro. Like,
Wow.
yeah, he really was Anthony Heartless. He was no prize. He was. I about to say no prize. He is definitely my homie. He was
No,
cool ass dude.
no cut cards.
No cut cards. That and High Neef I Kill. That was another cool ass name, but I think that went a little too far for High Neef there. But that was definitely crazy. I remember he pulled Curtis off the fence. It was a tall fence too, like one of them 6-foot fences. Curtis would walk and balance on the shit, and High Neef just came up and whipped that motherfucker off of it. Curtis ran home, got his BB gun, and cocked it like 2,000 times. Okay,
Mm.
and then he shot him with that motherfucker. And High Neef I Kill ran like a motherfucker. Yeah. Shout out to High Neef, man, wherever you are. Hopefully you're still alive. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, he was a wild boy. He ran with his name also. So yeah. Well, you got Regina, and Scott got Scott.
Yeah, it's like Harold Origins, meaning army ruler or heroic leader. Kudos to you.
King as
Yeah.
well, if I remember
Mm.
correctly.
What'd you say?
You're
I said
you're
King as well, if I remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Well, because
the
you had
meaning
King
of
Herod, Herod,
yeah,
Harold.
yeah. Meaning of your name, derived from the Old English. So okay, you're an army ruler who is brothers with an army ruler. Go figure.
Yeah. Shout out to the army rulers. You know what I mean?
Joined by a queen. I can't take that credit for that one. Thank you, Mom.
Well, and Scott, what is the meaning of Scott?
A person from Scotland,
Yeah,
basically.
no bullshit, right? That's you know, they
Yes.
just hit you in the head with that shit. It's like, you know what Scott will do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure he already knew that, unless there's something I need to be enlightened upon.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Hmm.
Well, I mean the middle name though is Anthony.
Hmm.
So
Yep,
that's
Scott Anthony.
so that you know, Anthony means something too. Cause remember that was from back in the day. That's Latin, right?
Anthony?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. You're gonna make me look up stuff. 'Cause I'm just actually randomly
Well,
curious.
Regina, I said it. I must be right. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Latin Greek origin. Highly
What I tell you?
praiseworthy or priceless.
Am I good, Regina? Am I good or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's linguistics, Regina.
Mm.
That's one thing I was really high at too. Just giving a heads up. So it's a couple of things I'm good at. Scott will tell you that, right, Scott? You want to know where something came
Indeed,
from?
Mm.
words have meaning. Know
Absolutely.
what the hell you are saying.
True. One person to another. Words carry a lot of weight.
Every oh shoot, listen. Sometimes you got to pick up a thesaurus. Sometimes.
Well, not just that. Knowledge is a walk that you're taking. All right. And I remember the
Hmm.
first time that I wanted to really know something. I could always read at a high level very early. That wasn't a problem. But me not knowing information was. And I remember I had a friend, James Dickens, and we were in middle school, and mom didn't show up, so I couldn't continue to go out there to Kingswood. I had to go to Fox. Um, and I remember he was saying some information that I didn't get from Fox, and I didn't know. And he was like, "You know why the sea is salty?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's salt in it." He's like, "The rocks, right?" And he shows me in the Encyclopedia Britannica that he had that I did not have. Um, and right from there, I was like, I want to know fucking everything. I will never let this clown ass motherfucker know me.
He bruised the ego. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I was pissed. And from
Yep.
there, no one knew more than me. Like, if I would have had when I was locked up, if I'd have had the phone, and I would have. I don't know how people have this much information just don't exploit it. There's just so much information. Now, of course, you have to weed through it because with the AI, with disinformation and this, that, the third, nothing beats a book. And even a book, you had to research who wrote it. What rendition is it, and there's a lot of stuff to finding out information. But the
Was
phone
it
does cut through
translated
it.
from one language
Yeah.
to another?
Yes, exactly. And a lot of people don't. So I always learn origins first. So that
Ah,
with names, I'll know where it came from. you know, and then know the history of the name. It's
yeah.
just a
Do
thing.
either of you guys still believe in picking up a book and sitting down to read it as opposed to reading something on your device?
Yes. I've
Yeah.
never read a lot from my device. I would rather read a book.
Hmm.
I can't
What's the
keep
last
the
thing you read?
screen. My eyes don't like for reading on the screen. I can
Hmm.
zip through it real quick because it's so small. And if your brain is used to getting words in, you can consume a lot of information that way. But it's teaching you not to check the information. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's the phone is cool to get quick information, but like I might get some stuff what I need for the county or something for to register something or to get a permit. I can read it online, but I'm still gonna have to go to the county, and then I'm gonna have to ask them questions, and they're gonna give me some papers, and then if I'm smart, before I sign them and just give them some money, I'm gonna read those papers. You know what I mean? So it's a difference in receiving information and knowing what to do with it than just looking out on the phone and thinking that you know something because
Hmm.
you don't know where the fuck that shit came from half the time. It might be a third party
Yeah, the
trying to sell you
comprehension.
something. It's all kinds of stuff on there that you have to be, leery and aware of. You know what I mean? When it comes to online.
Yeah. But my original question was, what was the last book that you read or are reading, Scott Harold?
I got a book right now that I know I'm actually starting to read. It's about like tying knots.
Nautical Knots?
I
No, knots on women, like tying them
Oh,
up. Yeah, yeah, it's a good, really good
okay.
book, and it's not like a edgy sex book. No, it's just. Oh, come on, you guys. Um, so eh, hey, man, like I like it spicy. So I was looking at
ain't
it.
nothing wrong
It
with
was
that.
in the side drawer, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna read that book. You know what I mean? So the other day, last time I was around, I read like just a page or two, and I was like, yeah, this kind of cool. So
Hmm.
it's just I'll bring up a book tomorrow too because I'll probably be like probably halfway through it or whatever. But it's a
Okay.
rope tying book. It's to tie
Oh,
you up. You know what I mean?
hmm.
Yeah.
Can't get out from under that
I
one.
and I myself, I am reading a book. It is an encyclopedia on body language.
Mm.
Really? That's intriguing.
Yeah, it's
So what?
written by a former camera, either FBI or CIA officer.
I read like three of those books in when I was locked up. So it's really good book.
Hmm.
Those are really good books.
Not to be said for body language. I'm a
Mhm.
constant observer, but I guess in part I'm an empath too, so they kind of go hand in hand in terms of
But
how
how
I.
does that work with a person
Hmm.
that plays poker really well?
Hmm. I can't speak to that. I don't play, Scott.
Being, hey,
No, because if
then
if
that
if
person
I'm
might be very aware of their,
if
they might be very aware of their body languages or their ticks or their
well they
tells.
are they are if you're playing any game in life. All right, let me give you a scenario. Right, totally fiction. Right, you cross the border. You know what I mean? You're just talking your normal shit, and people are saying, "Oh, they could do this, they could do that." You end up running into someone that could do this or that. All right, and you say, "You know what? Fucking go for it. You're an idiot. You're young. Whatever." You get deeper. You get deeper. You get deeper. You get deeper. You know what I mean? These situations cause for people to be very, very stoic. Whatever the fuck's going on, everyone signed up for it. I don't care what the fuck you see. You could be at the donkey show and this girl is doing whatever. You're not there for moral, you're not here to be the moral compass for people, you know. So in that scenario, you're not you can have all the morals and religions and whatever going through your head, but to get out of there,
Hmm.
you have to have a game face. You know what I mean? You have to be able to talk to
Yeah.
officers and be totally dirty, totally wrong, and be emotionless. It's not like the movies where, oh, I see you sweating or this, that, the third. I've never been busted because I was nervous. I've
Hmm.
been busted because
What's
I
that
was
trickle of
speeding.
sweat going down your bra?
Yeah, none of that shit. Most of that stuff be bum ass luck or something stupid. You know what I mean? Outside of that, you're pretty much promoting your own demise. But there's
Mm.
a number of people that you can't read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their book is not open. And there's a number of people, like my brother tell you, half the shit I tell him, oh man, that gotta be bullshit. But it be fact is stranger than fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Fact is stranger than
Yeah.
fiction. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for dust in my eye or moving a certain way, I've been interrogated by the best. You know what I'm saying? Still here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I
yeah.
I I I do believe that people can, be, empaths and stuff like that. I invite them to go to Vegas. Make good with your skill set. You know what I'm saying? Make good with your skill set. Because if
Mm.
you don't know how to play poker, learn. Because poker is a game of reading people and somewhat being an empath, knowing if they even nervous about what they got. If I'm playing cards with somebody, I'm not playing cards. I'm playing the man. Because at some point, we all know what the cards hold. They ain't but 52. So, if I see my cards, depending on how many people at the table, there ain't but so many options. So then who am I playing? I'm playing the man. I got to be that empath. I got to, got to be that type of person. But what if this is a cold blooded motherfucker? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Today may not be your day then.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
People were eating with Jeffrey Dahmer. He was such a great guy. He was feeding me barbecue. He was feeding them people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I don't
Oh,
know.
now we getting all Soylent Green here.
I don't
If
know.
you've
Shit.
if you've
I'm
ever
playing.
seen that movie.
Nah.
I'm just playing devil's
Nah.
advocate. I ain't. If you say you feeling like shit is wrong, I might roll with you. You know what I'm saying? Be like, yeah, you right. Let's get up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good movie, Soylent Green. Should see it.
Mm. Did you
Yeah,
read the book?
Charlton Heston.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read the book?
No,
Me
I
no.
actually don't think I actually read the book.
It's better than the movie. It is definitely better than the movie.
It's like Fahrenheit 451.
Oh man,
Mm.
I love that book, and the movie was good. But I love the book, and it's definitely a time that we're living in right now. But unfortunately, our time is out. So, from us here at the pod of Harold Knows, self-centered
Nothing.
fuckery. Don't listen to people as nothing. I want you guys to stay blessed out there. Shout out again to at Shannon55 for always being loyal and checking in.
Yay.
Shout out to Regina.
Yo.
I'm gonna try to put in that intro. I was talking about it earlier. You weren't on. We
Oh,
will be
okay.
on at 9:30 sharp um,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow, and tomorrow will be um, magical Mondays. It'll be a positive Monday. So we're gonna find some positive stuff to give to you guys instead of this fuckery that's out here. Um,
Good.
there's a lot of no, there's a lot of positivity out here in the world, and we're gonna find it. We're gonna fucking find it tomorrow for
Ooh.
Magical Monday.
Well,
Um, yeah, I'm gonna get that magical sound like. "Ring." I gotta start uploading things.
like the
Wave the
sprinkling of
wand.
fairy dust.
Yeah, not the fairy
Ooh.
dust, nigga. Like, come on, what the fuck?
What's wrong with fairy
Shout out to
dust?
Christy. like,
What's
like,
wrong
dude,
with
the fairy
fairy
dust.
In,
dust?
in the
Because I'm
tutus.
not no fairy. That's why. That's why.
Oh
I'm still
god.
I'm still old school, man. Like y'all gonna have to understand that one day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I get the new wave and everybody's accepting, yada yada. And I never complain about what people do in their bedroom. So unless it's
Uh-huh.
little kids, it's some weird shit.
Right.
So I don't really care either way. And, to be honest, I prefer to identify myself as 100% male man, debaucherous at times, flawed, definitely, but a straight male in America. How about you, Scott? You identify the same way.
I identify as the same.
All right, so that's why I don't do fairy dust. Okay. Now there are people that do it, and that's cool with them. Bling. You know what I'm saying? Get all the
Yeah.
one.
Unless you
Yeah.
go to the strip club and you get the stripper fairy dust on you.
Oh my God, that's
Oh
the
dear.
worst. That is such a bad thing. That's
If,
one thing.
if,
I
if
get
you are
mine.
wearing black,
Oh,
I could
if you're
not
wearing
speak to
black,
that, but I not for nothing. I could not speak to that, but I would like to speak to that. I have never been to said strip club or show ever.
what?
you know,
Are you serious?
stripper.
Next time you come down, or I'm gonna make sure that you come through. We're gonna take you to a strip club. Fuck this. This is
Uh,
ridiculous. There's no
well,
way. You can't go through your whole life with. Come on.
I mean, the
No.
closest I got was a college mail review, and that's a whole nother story for another time. Cause
Yeah, but
I don't know if I got my money's worth on
Mm,
that college mail review.
yeah, come on, man. I, it's different. Like you just happy that a man is around you, I guess, and you got oil and you got some abs or something like that. But I, I don't know. I just don't know. I've seen them.
is that
You know,
big?
what I mean, hey
Is
Scott,
that
remember
Johnson and
Ron Devon?
Johnson?
Remember
Oh,
Ron
here we
Devon?
go.
Remember
Oh
Ron
God.
Devon? Ron Devon was a male
Oh
stripper,
God.
and then after that, he started taking pictures at the club with the. He had the RV, and he had the thing that comes up, just to take pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the airbrushed sheet.
Yes, yes, Ron Devon. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and he find the young boys out there, and somewhat in shape or whatever. You know what I mean. Take them on the get money to her. You know what I mean. So a college review. I mean I've been to the Circus Olay with Nene Leaks when she was hosting
Mhm.
it, and it was a whole little freak thing, and then bunch of cut up dudes that end up being gay. Disappointed a lot of women. It was, you know, it was a fun
The
time.
thunder from down under.
Yeah, yeah, it was all funny, man. It was some funny ass shit, boy. I tell you, it was some funny ass shit. But a regular strip club in Atlanta, that's a regular thing to go to. Just go to the strip club. But anyway, man, we got to get
Yeah,
out
that's
of
the
here, man.
part.
We got some to talk about tomorrow. Hey, man, you know what the group chat is? We put in the group chat. What you want to talk about. Hit me on Messenger or through the right here through the YouTube. Hit us up. Hit one of your favorite co-hosts up. You know, whoever you agree with or whoever you identify with. You know what I'm saying? So
Ah!
we'll 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 catch you. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow at 9:30. We'll catch you. Um, I'm gonna say we're gonna catch you today at 9:30. Hopefully it cuts it up like that, and I can put that out. But definitely tap in. We'll be on the schedule, so it's gonna say tomorrow. It'll give you an alert. When we're on. All right, y'all.
Peaches.
Let's cut it out. Remember, Harold knows
Nothing.
Not
nothing.
a freaking damn thing.